Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you.
Welcome back to Mojo Studio.
So fun to have you here.
Thanks for joining us. We're having a great time.
MainJoe, Mojo, and shyGuy in the house.
The original three.
Back.
Take it a step further, gentlemen. Is it March 1st where we get the first CBD dispensary here in Salt Lake proper?
I've already seen CBD oil stores and billboards and signs. It might be THC-free CBD.
There's your racket. There's your racket right there. Yeah. I've been to Costco and I have seen hemp based products like seeds or some kind of thing, hemp based. It's been around for a long time. Now they're just filtering through who gets the money and what are the contracts and how does that come across the border and this and okay, I'll get you through this with a permit type of thing. That's what's going on right now.
Yeah. Lawyers and politicians.
Yeah. Like even cryptocurrency. The other day they had a hearing on Capitol Hill. How are we going to regulate this?
That was interesting. Yeah.
But you know what? I have a feeling they're not going to be able to. We're talking about cryptocurrency. We're talking about the blockchain. How are you going to regulate that? They'll just go right around you. It's the blockchain. See you. Bye-bye.
Blockchain is the most valuable term on the internet right now.
It's so cool, but the problem with the blockchain yet is it's not stable enough. I mean, I would love to buy Bitcoin. I would love to use Bitcoin, but it's just not stable enough.
It's quite the gold standard.
Yeah,
which is what
which
our
is important.
is.
Which is important.
Yeah,
it has to be.
Well, you kind of drifted there a little bit, though. It was what is it versus I don't trust it yet. What was the
regulation?
The regulation. How do you even identify? Yeah, what is it?
You can't.
What is this stuff?
What is it?
My point was again being very cynical toward the government.
Right.
Is of course
they want to regulate it.
They're going to find a way. They will find. That's what governments do. They find a way to tax everything and get their hands in everything.
From what I understand about the blockchain, it's going to be impossible, dude.
We'll see. That's a great question. That's a great question.
Is there any protection involved in
However, no, none at all.
I don't think so.
However, I remember
they just want to tax people. They don't want to protect.
Yeah, exactly.
People.
That's why they want their cut.
That's an honest question. I wasn't being cynical.
No, I hear you. I didn't hear any cynicism. No. Yeah. I remember they showed a clip not too long ago. I saw it where Bill Clinton was like, "Ha ha ha! China's going to try and regulate the internet. Good luck with that." Well, guess what? They do. You can't get Google in China. They figured it out. So maybe the government will figure out how to regulate the blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
Oh, they will. Once the money is demonstrated. Once the revenue stream exists, they will find a way to take it.
There's cryptocurrency millionaires out there,
Yes, and I'm sounding very cynical towards our government right now, but I'm actually saying that's what government does, and it allows us to live the lives that we lead. They find a way to levy taxes on revenue streams, and then they build us roads and libraries and shit. They create society. I don't mind paying taxes because I'm buying society. That's what I'm buying.
Yeah, well.
And mine's pretty good.
So does it bother you that cryptocurrencies could possibly sidestep regulation and governments of any kind? Is that a problem, do you think?
Without protection, that's what if it just goes belly up? Who's running these? Who's running them, and what protections would someone have that invests a lot of money in a cryptocurrency?
There's no protection.
And then someone says,
capitalism. Often in capitalism, there is no protection.
That's true.
You put your money down and you take your chances.
Kind of like that story you told last.
That's a good point.
Kind of like the story you told last podcast about the senator coming and encouraging you to invest all your money into your 401ks or whatever stock options you have.
When I worked for that company.
Yeah, fucked up. And and my same with my wife and I. After the economy collapsed and I lost my job and had to find a new job. We had some money saved in our 401ks from that job I had previously. And we got this money manager to help us with that. For 8 years, the stock market just kept going up and recovering and going up and going up and recovering. And our money stayed the same. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? How come we're not? Oh, it's the long-term investment. You got to. Sure, he was taking his cut. He was moving our money around, taking his cut, nibbling here, nibbling there, nibbling here, nibbling there. What a racket that fucking shit is. Money managers, bullshit. So finally, we got ourselves away from him, and now my wife's just doing it herself. And
I think I remember reading a headline of an article around the crash. It was about the time 2008 crash, and it said Lehman Brothers or Goldman Sachs or whatever bank it was earns $180 million by moving $1 billion across the street. They moved it from one financial on Wall Street from one financial tower to another. The fee on that transaction was $180 million, something like this, and that is the microcosm that we should view from. What else is going on?
And I think
is so easily identifiable.
That's one
as
of the
fraud.
places where Bernie's going to get a lot of his money from, I think. Because, like, you've heard of Bloomberg, right? The mayor of New York City, the guy that said, oh, term limits, fuck those. I'm going to do another term. He did that, right? And he earned his money by coming up with this software that does microtransactions. They do them so fast on microsecond level that before anybody even knows what's going on, oh, he's already seen the price, sold high, bought low, whatever he needs to do to make that money. It's just crazy fast. So Bernie's plan is to tax some of that stuff. They're doing transactions on less than a second, and no tax, no fee, nothing.
They didn't even tax the internet for many years. In many cases, they don't. Do you guys pay sales tax when you buy something online?
I'm trying to think if Amazon charges a sales tax or not. I don't think they do.
Or even just a state sales tax.
I don't think they do.
For a long time, that went
I
on
remember
described.
Utah getting a little bit pissed about that and about the whole sales tax thing. I'm not sure if they ever started taxing people or not. I can't tell you for sure.
Can't say. Might be the reason Amazon skyrocketed. Nobody pays any taxes. You're buying a blanket for $19.99. You pay $19.99 at checkout. It was
Netflix, no taxes. And they went up again. My wife told me, "Hey, marker, hey MainJoe."
Yeah.
My wife said, "Hey MainJoe." She said, "Netflix went up again. What's the deal?" And I said, "I don't know. Let me check on it." So I went to one of my computers where I don't use for the internet ever. It doesn't know who I am or what I am or anything. I said, hey, I want to find out. I want to sign up for a Netflix account. How much is it going to be? Well, it turns out they have 3 plans, and they had us on the middle plan, which we don't really need.
$10.99.
We could have been on the basic plan, and it's and it went up again, and it's like they've been raising the rates pretty consistently now, making bank and not paying any taxes because they can. And who's really pissing me off is fucking YouTube, man. What the fuck? And this is something I wanted to talk about before. Let me go off on my little rant here because I'm feeling the need. YouTube, you're fucking it up, man. I'm this close to fucking shutting you down because you're giving me way too many ads. You're demonetizing a lot of the shit I watch, and I think it's bullshit. You might be just trying to dog me into buying this subscription thing, and maybe, but still, if I do that, are you going to give me the people that I watch? Are you going to pay them for that? I mean, you know what? YouTube, you got some explaining to do, and be careful because look, MySpace went away. Facebook is dropping off fast like a hot potato. You are not immune. You can go away too. Someone else will come up in your place and be just as fucking good. So don't think you've got this superpower that we're too big to fail. Bullshit.
YouTube, you are an outlet for creative energy. You're for people to come and express themselves.
YouTube, we love you, but you are on notice. I hereby put you on notice. You're fucking it up, man. You're fucking it up. Just like Facebook fucked it up. I used to love my Facebook fucking page. I put time and effort and energy into that fucking Facebook page, and one day I woke up and it was fucking gone.
I don't look at it.
Fuck that.
I haven't looked
shit.
at it in months.
And YouTube, you can still make money too. You can still make money.
You were making money before.
You
were
made a
making
lot of money
plenty
before.
of money.
You can still do it.
And it was
still
awesome.
Profit.
And it was all about the creators. It wasn't about CNN and all these big fucking corporations. It was about the little guy and publishing and
it was the kid with the
and
Star
sharing their
Wars
stories.
lightsaber.
It was about Two Joe's podcast.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, that's how we got to start. And so did the other people that I can't think of their names. Lots of other people. That's what the beauty of YouTube was. Yeah. Don't go blowing that shit, and you're blowing it, in my opinion.
You know why? This is another reason to praise America. The most powerful social media conglomerates, corporations exist right here in America. You got Facebook, you got Google, you got YouTube, which is owned by Google, I think, isn't it? And Instagram right here, and Twitter right here. This is a great time to be alive in America. It really is. I'm not praising Trump right now. I'm just stating a fact. Do you guys agree?
I love America. Of course I do. Oh, my God. I've got a wonderful house. I've got a wonderful life. That doesn't mean I don't want to make it better.
Indeed.
It doesn't mean I don't have fears. I mean, we all run off of fears. You know what my fear is that security blanket. I need a little more security. I could lose everything I've worked so hard to build up because I get sick, or because my wife gets sick, or because my daughter gets sick. It could be all gone tomorrow.
Agreed.
And that's what my fear is. That's what scares me, and that's where I'm at.
So, home listeners, we just established it's a great time to be alive in America, and we can make it better with specific things.
I think there's room for improvement.
Specific improvements will make America even better. Totally agree, MainJoe. Could not agree more. You could not agree. and then we launch into healthcare there.
Well, I think we've beat that horse to death for a while. Let's put that on the back burner for a while because we've talked about that too much. But what do you guys think about YouTube and Netflix and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter? How many of them do you use? Do you think they're overstepping their bounds? Do you think the changes that you've seen recently are good or bad? Or tell me how you relate to my little rant that I just went on.
Social media, I'm not a big part of it anymore, but I do know it's still a huge part of current day America and the world. And so I try to objectify it as this business thing that I have to think about. Social media, over 1 billion people. Would you say that's a good estimate? Over 1 billion people,
at least
of the 7 or 8 billion on the planet. Over 1 billion are on social media.
I think Facebook has
form.
more than 1 billion accounts.
I think you're right.
Created
yes.
on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
So, I know you watch YouTube a fair amount. Do you have you been noticing more ads recently? Have you been noticing that a lot of your favorite channels have been demonetized and they're complaining about it?
No.
You've never heard of the ad apocalypse?
I have not.
Dude, creators on YouTube are getting demonetized, and it's a lot harder now to make a living off of YouTube than it used to be. So we might have come too late to the party.
Until I start earning money from YouTube, I won't have any intelligent response.
But what about? So you don't have any favorite channels that are like getting demonetized or struggling now because of this ad apocalypse?
I've never used social media as a money source. So
I'm not talking about using it as a money source. I'm talking about your favorite channels. Like I watch sailing shows, I watch sports shows, I sport podcasts, I watch progressive news shows, right? And they're complaining left, right, and center that they're getting demonetized. This guy today said, I think you've listened to David Pakman, right? Yes. 75% of his videos that he uploaded the other day were demonetized instantly in seconds. What's he talking about that's so unfriendly to advertisers? Trump? The political situation in this country? Oh my God, if he can't make it by what he talks about, the stupid stuff we talk about is definitely going to be demonetized. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking T-shirts are the only way we're going to make a living. I mean, sport podcasts, and he's doing pretty well, right? Because he doesn't talk about anything that's, other than sports. No, so he's safe.
Pakman put up some good content.
Yeah, I enjoy him a lot, but
I haven't seen him. It makes you think. I haven't seen him around.
And that's
YouTube.
The other thing.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing? The algorithm is no longer suggesting his videos as much as they used to. You know what I see now more than anything? CNN. More CNN. How about some Bloomberg? How about some BBC? The other day I clicked on a BBC video that was like something about someone's text the governor of Puerto Rico or something like that. His texts got him in hot water, and all these people are protesting to get him out of there. Yeah. I watched the whole video. Not once did they show me one of his fucking texts. What's the big commotion then? If you can't even show me one of his texts, but that's what YouTube wants me to see. They want to spin it. Oh, he's getting ousted, but we're not going to show you his text. But look at all these people trying to get him out of office, but we're not going to show you any of his texts. They want to give you the spin, the CNN spin, the Bloomberg spin, the BBC spin. They don't want Pac-Man. They don't want Jimmy Dore. They don't want to show me any of that stuff that makes you think or anything. It's not a performance. It's a rant. I'm ranting.
Exactly. The same thing, isn't it?
But you guys have not experienced this.
Home listeners, that was MainJoe, and that was a good 2 minutes right there. That was fantastic, and I can echo. I have subscribed to many of those same accounts. David Pac-Man, Jimmy Dore, Brian Tyler Cohen.
Yes,
enjoy him.
Another one.
Kanolsky.
These guys are putting on productions that have employees. They're trying to make a living off of YouTube.
Content. It's great content. It's great analysis. It's good analysis.
And they're getting demonetized, and it's been more of a struggle for them to make it.
Well, that's what I want to approach right there, is I don't know what demonetize means.
They get money for each view based on the ads that run on their channels when you're watching them.
Yeah.
Like today, I watched a Jimmy Dore video, and it came up with no ad before it, and I'm like, oh my God, this video I'm about to watch got demonetized. Not running any ads because they don't want the advertisers to get pissed. Oh, you ran my ad on the Jimmy Dore show? I don't like that. So, and it happens to the conservative podcasts and stuff too. It happens to them just as much. They want to run the mainstream shit, advertiser friendly. Advertisers approve of CNN, Washington Post, blah blah blah.
MSNBC.
Yes. Now you're getting my drift.
I get a lot of Fox News in my feed, too, on my YouTube feed. A lot of it.
I'm getting more of that now. I don't subscribe to those guys.
I've never subscribed to a Fox News personality.
It's like I've got over 200 channels I subscribe to. None of them are CNN, MSNBC, or CNN. Why aren't those coming up in my feed? Because Google, YouTube would rather you join the mainstream and enjoy the spin. Woohoo! We're going to war with Iran. Woohoo!
Or not, hopefully.
Let's hope not. But did you see what happened the other day?
Yeah.
That British tanker got seized by Iran.
Haven't seen much footage. Haven't heard any.
It's
seen
all
any
a spin, of course.
About it.
All the Iranian soldiers in the copter got to have masks on their face. I wonder why. Maybe they're British troops dressed up as Iranian soldiers. I wonder. I'm just tired of believing everything I see. I'm not going to believe it, YouTube. I'm not going to believe it, CNN. You got to show me the shit, man.
Well, you know what? We just supported George Orwell and Donald Trump at the same time. Right there. What you're seeing and what you're hearing is not what's happening. That's a quote from Donald Trump, and it describes Orwell perfectly.
We went to Vietnam under false pretenses. We went to war with Iraq under false pretenses. I'm tired of going to war under false pretenses. When is this bullshit going to end?
When we start diverting dollars away from our military budget into infrastructure and schools on every street corner. Small schools on every street corner. Isn't that kind of a Dr. Seuss look about it? There's a little school on every street corner where anybody can come in and read a book and eat a banana. and have a glass of milk. That would be a wonderful world.
And the Beatles don't exist.
Today was gonna be the day that we're gonna bring them back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you got to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do
about you now.
Beautiful. Thank you, John.
Nice.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And maybe. All right, we're done with that.
I'm a little bummed that you guys can't relate to this rant that I went on, man. The demonetization, the ad apocalypse, all that shit. You guys just are oblivious to that.
No, I memorialized it. I said that was MainJoe going on a rant.
But you can't relate to me is what I'm trying to say. You haven't experienced this in your own consumption of the internet and YouTube and etc.
All right.
Wow,
I guess
that's
I-
amazing.
Floor is yours.
Not-
I don't know.
Interesting. You don't watch Louder with Crowder on YouTube?
No,
As I know he's probably
No.
talked about it. And you listen to Pac-Man, but yet Pac-Man. What's his name?
David.
Is it
Packman.
Pac-Man?
David Packman.
Okay, it is Pac-Man.
I don't subscribe to anything
Nothing.
online. I guess
You know
I
what?
do
Oh,
for,
I
for,
do.
for
I'm not
T-
even-
for TV.
I'm not even sure he listens to our podcast that I post.
I'm going to be very honest and tell you I have not listened to a single one. I haven't listened because I don't want to. I don't want to hear myself.
It's tough.
I like to hear you guys.
it takes some getting used to,
You guys
man.
are the good ones.
Oh,
you guys have the
whatever,
good
dude.
content.
No way,
I don't-
man. You're right there with us. I've listened to them all more than once, and
Me
you're
too.
right there with us, bro.
Yeah.
I love having you on
They're
the show.
fun. It's
Love
fun.
having you on the show.
Yeah.
You're
I
a vital
love-
member.
I
You're a
love
vital
being-
co-host.
I love being on it. I think it's a blast. I love when I get invited to do it. But,
It's fun
But
and-
sometimes
Someday.
when I go home, I reflect and I'm like, man, a lot of the listeners, they're not going to agree with anything I had to say.
You know what
Because I do feel with my stances that I'm small. Like we're a small group, but we're easily called bigots and racists and sexist.
And that's a problem.
You know that
I agree.
that's what I
It's,
fear. That's what I fear, and so that's why I don't listen.
It's a big
That's-
issue
When
right
we
now.
get into politics,
You know,
It
and-
truly is a
political
big issue
stuff,
right now.
like
I think that's a
And I'm
huge
not-
issue that we're not talking about much. It's
Yeah.
like I said, I was thinking it was probably one of our chill sessions. It was like this Ilhan Omar says AIPAC influences our governing body in the United States because they have money and money equals influence. Money equals speech, according to the Supreme Court. That's all she said, and she's getting so vilified because of it. It just boggles
Well,
my
they've used the word
mind.
Benjamins to describe that event. It's all about the Benjamins.
That's what she said in her tweet, which
She
has
said
now
in
been
her tweet,
deleted
and
because suddenly that was too.
too much.
Too
now.
much?
But now they have
My
the catchword.
God.
They have the buzzword they can
Oh
use.
my
The
God.
Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins to Congresswoman
I just don't
Omar.
understand. At what point can we not even talk about
She also
money
criticized
in
in the same way.
politics? You know,
She criticized the Islamic lobbying powers in America with exactly the same type of words.
same-
It's all about the money. It's about how the money influences
if you,
everything.
if you think Saudi Arabia isn't influencing us, then I got news for you.
Did you guys see the speech from AOC, if I may
I
use
don't
the
believe so.
abbreviation, where she asked questions of some government official about how money influences elections and legislative actions, how laws become proposed, how they are written, how they are voted, debated, how they are
I
passed.
did not see that.
And she laid it out bare, like she was on Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Just laid it out there.
She's good at that.
She is on certain topics, not every one of them.
No.
We'll get into those later.
She's
but
not perfect.
she just said, where you have enough money, you write your own laws, and then they will pass it. And it was an indictment.
To
It was a
some-
wonderful indictment.
to some
that
degree,
she
that's true.
She gave us. Anyway.
Anyway,
I'm not a fan of that woman.
you know what?
fan.
Since we're there, this is a topic I really truly thought about before we started sitting down and doing this podcast. I wanted to ask you why. Because in my opinion, I have not heard a single thing that she has said that should necessarily make you feel that way. So if you're willing, this may not even get podcast because remember the start of this whole fucked up segment. This might just be a private one just for us.
Yeah.
Free speech, baby. Free speech.
What is it about her that bugs you so much?
I wish I had prepared notes, but I've seen things that I look for. We all look for what we want to hear and what we want to see.
Absolutely true.
We even talked
And
about physical appearance in a
we-
candidate. Yeah. That's right. We all look for things. We all look.
Don't
for
know
it.
if I ever said that.
No,
I
we,
did. No, I
before
said
you
that.
got here,
Oh,
he was
said
saying
that.
he's
Oh,
hot for
gotcha,
Tulsi
gotcha.
Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. Yes.
Oh yeah, she's hot.
Physical appearance.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I like Tulsi Gabbard.
So what are you looking for? What does she lack then? What does
Tulsi Gabbard?
No,
No.
AOC. The one
I
you were
just
about
want to know
to.
why you've got this thing against her. Because as
I
far as
just
I'm
think
concerned, she hasn't.
She's got such an axe to grind. I watched a thing on YouTube. Actually, she's got several YouTube videos that are really not too stellar on her part.
Mm-hmm.
Just she asked a military guy that was on some and again, this is when I wish I had notes, but she
Right.
was grilling some military guy about have you ever held a dead 5-year-old, in your arms, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sensationalism.
That's
Sensationalism.
Okay. That's
What
something
does that
that.
have to do with policy?
Well,
Exactly.
It doesn't
That's
have-
something
it
the
doesn't-
mainstream
it doesn't-
media
it
has
doesn't
never
have-
shown
doesn't
me.
have to do with
It's
policy.
sensationalism, dude. Does that
It's-
belong in our politics? Because that's
doesn't
what, to my opinion, that's what Trump does a lot of times. Is fucking sensationalism, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
That's beneath the presidency, in my opinion.
It has nothing to do with policy.
And by the way, this guy said I've held 15 and 16-year-old men in my arms dead. He was going on about like you
don't even fucking know
You don't
war,
even
bitch.
fucking know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. You
Right.
don't even know what you're
Right.
who you're talking to right
Right.
now, and you better respect. You better have a little more respect.
Back up.
But that stuff is online.
Okay,
but you
interesting.
just don't.
No,
I
the
just-
mainstream
I think-
media
I
doesn't
think
give you
she's
that.
a sensationalist.
Interesting. Okay.
That's what I think, and
Well,
I don't like her for that shit. I just
Okay,
don't
well,
like.
I haven't been exposed to that shit, so
Yeah,
that's
well, it's
interesting.
on. You
That's
can
why I like her. I
Google,
think she.
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna try because
Yeah.
I think that's important. If she's doing that shit, I think that's bullshit. Because
It is.
you wouldn't do that to Tulsi Gabbard, the major in the fucking army, who's seen.
Well, this
her
guy's
friends go out
guy's
there and-
way more highly decorated than Tulsi Gabbard.
she's
She's trying to
dissing that dude.
grill him.
Wow.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it
that's
turns
uncool,
me
man.
off so fast.
If I saw it, it
So
would me too,
fast.
dude. Thanks for sharing that with
Like,
me.
yeah.
I'm gonna look that up because
I will too.
Because as of right
I'm
now,
not making it
I'm
up.
kind of a fan of
Listeners,
hers. So if
YouTube
she's
it.
doing that shit, man, fuck
Yep.
AOC, back up, man.
I don't-
You were a bartender a year ago, and you're trying to tell this decorated military dude who's serving his country the best of his ability. It's not he's not the one who made the decision to go into fucking Iraq. He didn't make the decision to bomb Libya and Syria.
No.
Bomb Syria so fucking much that we ran out of bombs. You need to talk to your counterparts there in fucking Congress who's voting for this shit. And if they're not voting for it, then they need to. That's part of the problem is as the president has these powers now, Congress can just sit back and say, well, what? I never voted for Syria bombing. I never voted for this. It's all in the president's hands. How bullshit is that? Our founding fathers said that Congress decides who we go to war with. Congress is the one who decides, and they're the ones that get the blood on their hands.
What is Congress?
And why did they decide that? Because we don't want blood on our hands, God damn it. We're a peaceful nation. At least I thought we were.
What is Congress?
Well, they should be representing the people. People
No, I mean,
representatives.
So
The Senate and
let's
the
define
House
it.
of Representatives. That's what
Let's-
I'm talking about.
Well, the Senate's in there too. Doesn't
Senate
it?
and the House. Yes.
That is Congress.
Two
then.
governing bodies. Yes. Not the presidency. Congress is the House and the Senate.
My question, was what is Congress? It is the House of Representatives and the Senate.
Yep.
That's Congress.
Exactly. Yep.
And that is separate from the presidential
Yes,
office.
it is.
That is separate.
from White
But
House.
what we
And
have-
separate from the Supreme Court.
But what we have
Supreme
now,
Court.
and I'm pretty sure it started with Obama, maybe Bush, but I'm pretty sure it was started with Obama, that they have certain powers granted to them by Congress, I assume, that they can use the military in ways they see fit, these strategical strikes, not really declaring war on anybody, but we can go bomb the shit out of them. And it's just a fucked up situation, in my opinion. I think that we need to dial that shit back real quick and put it back in the hands of Congress where it belongs.
I think I can agree with you.
If you want to bomb someone,
I can
let's
agree.
debate it in Congress and have both houses pass it. Because that's how
Even-
serious this shit is.
What if it's just Panama, though? Just a tiny little banana republic, nothing.
I wanna know-
Overnight action. It was an overnight action. Yeah.
Was it?
Panama?
Do you remember that?
The invasion of Panama.
I had a friend that hurt his leg jumping out of a helicopter in Panama.
Yeah.
He was a radio operator, and those radios weigh like 40, 45 pounds. And the helicopter pilot wasn't close enough to the ground, and he jumped out of the copter and fucked up his leg. And he's probably still getting money from the United States for that injury right now.
Where are we going, MainJoe?
I'm saying that, do you know for a fact that Panama was an overnight thing? And was Congress involved? No. I want to know. Now, that's very... Because I remember Panama.
I can answer the second part. No, Panama. Congress was not involved.
You think that was totally the president being the chief, military chief, just making a call?
Yes.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Maybe
and it was not overnight. Maybe it was not overnight.
Well, what about?
Hey, give me a sec.
What about Grenada?
Give me just a sec. Yeah, Grenada is very.
Clint Eastwood made a whole movie about that. Remember that movie?
Heartbreak
Ridge.
That was a great
Hamburger Hill. No, it was something more. It was really kind of. It was more about Clint Eastwood training these guys before they went to Grenada than it was.
He was there with them too, though.
But yeah, they were. But I'm just saying that it was kind of a lighthearted, more of a light movie. It wasn't that intense. But yeah, was Congress involved with that call?
I think his name was Rusty in that movie.
And he wore a T-shirt, and if they didn't wear the same color T-shirt as him, they had to do like 50 push-ups and all this calisthenics and shit. That was funny as hell. But yeah,
Eastwood. I just watched a film of his today.
Really, I love that dude. Even though he talked to a chair and he's basically a Republican that I don't quite understand.
Agree with you there. Totally agree.
I love his movies.
I do love his movies.
Love his movies.
You know what? I love Mel Gibson's movies.
Yeah, I do too.
And how about Robert Downey Jr.? He hit a bad spot in his life and did
total
great.
Cokehead. He's an amazing actor. Love some of his movies too.
Drugs do not define us. Ladies
Mistakes
and
do not
listeners.
define
Mistakes do not define us.
Louis C.K. made a mistake. It should not define him. There should be a road to redemption.
Nice. I mean, very nice segue.
Maybe
right there,
not
dude.
for Cosby. Cosby's a little bit overboard. Weinstein maybe a little bit overboard. Yeah. Maybe there's no redemption for those guys. They need to pay the price. But there's the levels, and there's
MainJoe, that was well said.
Sometimes when you do the time, then you've done your time.
Yeah.
And you're welcome back to society.
You're convicted of the crime.
Right?
You did the time, and then you can come back, and you're okay.
There has to be a road to redemption, and Rogan talks about this all the time, and I couldn't agree with him more.
Well stated. And then you tip to the other side where there is no redemption for the crimes that you did, the Epstein stuff, and then go to Ted Bundy. Go to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Well,
wherever
we jump right
go.
back into the death penalty. You know?
Is that black and white, listeners? Is that just an example of black and white? You can jack off in front of a young up-and-coming comedian, but you can't kill somebody.
You can't drug them and fuck them.
There's a good one, too.
You can't drug them and fuck 50 of them.
Yeah. 50 of them. How many was it?
It was a lot, dude. It was crazy.
A lot of them came out.
It was very sad.
Think of the lifestyle he was leading then, at that time.
Adored by the universe.
Adored by the entire planet.
By the universe.
He was in black and white TV.
He was selling Jell-O.
He started black and white
Jell-O
TV.
pudding pops.
Yes, and Coca-Cola.
Hey! He had the number one cartoon on Saturday mornings. Thank you very much. It's Fat Albert.
Yep,
yeah,
I remember that.
I'm gonna sing song for you. Hey, man, how behavior going, bud?
One of the best lines I ever heard was from Fat Albert. That was the name of the show, wasn't it? Yeah, Fat Albert. How about fat shaming today?
I know that would never go over today, huh?
The best line I ever heard was, "Man, you just like Saturday morning, no class." That's brilliant.
That guy used to say, NC. NC, what does that mean? No class.
How long did that show last?
It was funny.
It was such a great show. I love that show.
I wanted to be a part of that.
I loved Bill Cosby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, me
Dude,
too.
way to destroy all these memories and dreams, and not to mention movies and stand-up. And how many stand-up comedians did he inspire over the years? I mean,
Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock gave his introduction at the Mark Twain, John Kennedy or the Kennedy Mark Twain Award show every year that they give. The Mark
Kennedy
Twain
Honors. I think it's
Kennedy Honors, the Mark Twain Prize. Whatever
that sounds right.
Seinfeld and Chris Rock gave the introduction, and there's Cosby up there with his wife in the balcony, waving down with his medal hanging right here and everything, and they praised him up and down all night. It was amazing. that is an amazing life. It's O.J. Simpson in a way.
Yeah, it totally is. The juice.
It kind of goes
greatest
that
NFL player of almost of all time. 2,000 yards. How many people have they? That's just sad.
It's been like 4 of them. I think 4 2,000-yard rushers. Is that right? 4 in history.
Emmett Smith. Walker
No,
Payton.
Emmett didn't do it. I don't think Emmett ever did it.
Eric Dickerson.
Adrian. No, not Adrian
Jim
Peterson.
Brown.
O.J.
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders, I think, did it too. I think that's right.
Okay, we're going off on it.
Yeah, well, how do these guys figure it out? Excuse me.
You guys figure
What a great segment.